What's going on, everybody? So, look, I like to think that I'm pretty good at 7.6 aircraft systems. I like to think I'm pretty good with 7.5 aircraft systems. And compared to, I guess, I don't know, most people, I probably am pretty good at it. Uh, but there's always something that ends up screwing with me, or something that always ends up surprising me that I didn't know. And I love that. I love learning. It's especially when it comes to aircraft and when it comes to the 7.6 and stuff like that. I love learning new things. Also, I have found that obviously the best way to learn something is to teach it because it makes you dig in and it makes you look at things a little bit more in depth. But I will say that sometimes the information that you get is kind of lacking, and until you get the opportunity to get into some other stuff, um, you can only learn as much as you can from that particular source, right? So if you look at typical FCOMs, we talked about this with the 7.5 yesterday. Typical FCOMs will say that the 7.5 has two pumps in each tank, da 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 da. Well, I showed you that they don't have two pumps in each tank. The pumps are all in the center tank, which is kind of crazy to me. But it still draws the fuel from the respective tanks, which is what's important, right? It's not important necessarily where the pumps are located. It's just more of an interesting gee whiz thing for me. So, because of that video, I got some interesting comments. I really liked the conversation I was having with one of the guys that I hope will have a longer conversation later. But he pointed out a couple things about where it doesn't matter for a pilot where the pump is located, and it doesn't. It doesn't. This is simply me scratching an itch in my brain saying, why is it this way and why would they do that? And I just thought it was an interesting thing to bring up. So, of course, what does that do? That drives me into looking at other things in the same way. And I'll admit that I don't always look at an AMM. I will look at stuff that's focused more on the ops side, that's on the pilot side. And I'll teach off of that because that's primarily what I teach. But, boy, there's some interesting stuff when you start looking at maintenance manuals and you start to question why certain things are done the way they're done. For example, we all know what this is. Anybody that's ever dealt in a 7.6, at least on the ops side, this is what you look at as the fuel system. This is the fuel system of a 7.6-200. And the reason I know it's a 200 is because we have these cool little bars here and here. That the 200, it's two separate tanks that are connected by tubes in between that make it one tank. Essentially, it helps level it out and make it all one tank. So as we can see, we got two pumps on the left, two pumps on the right, two pumps in the center, right? And then we have our APU DC pump that is located in the left tank, right? This is what we've all been taught. This is what we've all been shown. This is what it is. What if I told you that's not how it was? You'd probably be like, okay. And I was kind of intrigued by this when I read it in the AMM. I was like, well, that doesn't seem to make sense to me because I always thought it was this way, right? Where the left forward pump is in the forward of the tank, the left aft pump is in the aft part of the tank, and without actually ever having gone out and worked on any of these or had someone physically show me where they're located, I just assumed that's what it was. What if I told you, though, that it looks something like this? Now, this is obviously a picture taken from inside a tank. It looks like it's being worked on because there's stuff that's open that shouldn't be open. I'm not going to take credit for any of that. This is just an example of the pump and what it looks like inside the tank. Notice I said the pump. It's not the pump, it's the pumps, but they're put together in the same housing. Okay? So, what I didn't know was that our forward pump and our aft pump were both in the same housing. The center tank and the jettison pumps in the 300s are in the same housing. I knew that. The FCOMs say that. Fine. I can agree with that, and we can move on. I did not know that our forward and our aft pump were a part of the same housing. I didn't know they were all enclosed in this same thing. If you read the AMM, it actually says that they're V-mounted to an electrical motor. So V-mounted means that they would be pointed at each other. But in this particular case, it's not necessarily that they're pointed at each other, but they're mounted in the same housing. Now, if that surprised you as much as it surprised me, please let me know in the comments so I'm not the only one that feels surprised by this, because I feel like I should have known this. So let me show you. This is what it looks like in the schematic in the AMM. It's just the one pump. It's this one section here. Where we get the forward and where we get the aft comes from is where the intake is, just like in the 7.5. All of the pumps are located in the center tank, but their intakes are located where they're labeled. So the intake for the left forward comes from the left forward of the left tank. But that pump is actually located in the forward part of the tank. They're separated. They're individual pumps. They're not put together in the same housing. Again, this is nothing that a pilot has to know. This is all just interesting gee whiz stuff that I learn when I'm doing research for videos, or when I'm looking for information, or when I just happen to be curious about something and I happen to have access to these things. So in this, you can see here is where this one is our forward pump, our left forward, and this is our left aft, and that's because of where they get their fuel. This is the front spar, and the rear spar is back here. And so left aft, left front, left forward. On the right side, it's the same thing. It's just, right forward, right aft, obviously. So it's all in the same housing. And then this is what we have for suction feed. This is the bypass. Okay, that's what's called the bypass valve, and that allows for suction feeding. Okay, again, not quite where I thought it would be, but that's what it is. It's in the middle of the tank, which is good, because the middle of the tank is probably going to be the most useful as far as where the fuel would be. But I thought that was interesting. Now, let me show you something else that I found out while I was going through all of this and while I was looking at things. Now, it's all going to depend which version of the 7.6 that you're in. If you're in, there's basically three main versions. So you've got a 200 where the two tanks are separated, and it's called a left auxiliary and a right auxiliary. It's not actually called the center tank. It's called the left auxiliary and the right auxiliary when it comes to like the maintenance portion of it. And in your actual tanks, you've got your left main fuel tank, your right main fuel tank. Then you have left auxiliary, right auxiliary, which in turn is our center tank pumps, right? Those are our center tank fuel. The interesting thing, too, is that they don't call them, it's not like your left forward and your right forward, or whatever. They're just called fuel boost pumps in the AMM. And your boost pumps are the ones that are in the main tanks. Your override pumps, which we talked about in the fuel presentation I did, if you want to go back and watch that one. But we talk about override pumps, but we talk about the center tank pumps being override pumps because they're approximately double the pressure of the main tank pumps, which are called fuel boost pumps. But I thought that was interesting, that they don't label them as left or right or override as center. It's literally override pumps and fuel boost pumps is how it's acknowledged in the book. Now, again, that's just the difference between operations nomenclature and maintenance nomenclature. Like in operations for the pilots, we care about what it is on the panel. And I say we, me, and the collective we, because I'm not one of you. But when you look at the panel, you want to know what the name of it is because of where the fuel's coming from. Center, okay, center comes from center. Left comes from left. We don't want you to put any additional effort into thinking about, well, the boost pumps are the ones that are in the left wing or they're the ones that are in the right wing. We don't care about that. We just want you to know exactly where the stuff's coming from. But there is another thing. So the left auxiliary fuel tanks go from the side body rib in a 200, in a regular 200. They go from the side body rib, which is essentially where the wings connect into the fuselage, to tank or rib 3 in the tank. And you can see that here. So here's tank 3 or rib 3, which is the tank end, and then here's the tank end at the side of the body. Okay. So that is our center tank, our left center tank pump, and then we've got our center tank, and then we've got the right one that's connected by those bars, or the tubes in between, right? That's in a 200. In a 300, this part here that says dry center area, that's all fuel. So, like, that's not actually the end of the tank. The tank goes all the way to the other side. But it goes from rib 3 to rib 3. Inside that area, it goes from rib 3 to rib 3. And then from rib 3 out to rib 34, I think is what it is. 30-something is where the main fuel tank is. And then there's a surge tank out on the end that is another 2 or 3 ribs that will gravity feed back into the center tank. But what I thought was interesting, that again we never talk about because we're always given this schematic, so we never question it. Remember how I said this is my APU, this is my DC fuel pump? Do you think it's located in the left tank? Well, I would have told you yes until yesterday. It is actually located right here in the left auxiliary fuel tank. I know. Again, it doesn't matter where the pump's located. It's simply where the fuel is coming from. And you can see that the intake is in the left tank, the left main tank. But the pump itself, the compressor and everything that pulls all the fuel out, is actually located in the center tank. I mean, this is 12 minutes of me talking about this. Does it really matter to you? No. It's just one of those things that is kind of neat or interesting to me. So I figured I would share it with you. I don't know. You can also see in here the scavenge pumps and all of the different valves. What's really funny is the spar valve. So the spar valve is not necessarily where I thought it was either. I thought the spar valve was closer to the engine. But as you can see, the spar valve is located right here. So you got your engine valve, which I guess makes sense. It'd be out on the engine. Fine. Okay. But the spar valve, I thought it'd be like up in this area. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's me wanting to put it there versus thinking about where it would be in the actual thing. But yeah, anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting. Thought I'd bring it up and show you guys that, the 7.5 has some weird stuff to it when it comes to their fuel, but so does the 7.6. And it's stuff that I would have never thought about because of how we always get the schematics and how the schematics always look. Also, what this doesn't show is that because it's a 200, it doesn't have the jettison pumps, but the jettison pumps on a 7.6, on a 300 that has fuel jettison capability, the pump's going to look the same as that. You're going to have your center pump and your jettison pump that are both going to be in the same housing, but they're two separate pumps. So, when you're doing fuel jettison, it only runs the jettison pump, not the center tank pump. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. It is amazing what you can learn when you're not looking for something. Honestly. Yeah, outside of that, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you can certainly leave a comment below. You can email me, brandon@gsiguy.com, or gsiguybrandon@gmail.com, whichever one works for you. As always, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. That way you always know when I put out a different video. Hit the like button because that always helps the algorithm and helps other people see the videos. Also on TikTok, also on Facebook. You can look at either one of those as well. Boy, I tell you, the more I dig into this stuff, the more interesting it becomes. So hopefully you guys have the same interest in it. If you don't, I appreciate you watching anyway.